What's up? It's Ben from WOD and in this video, I'm gonna help you get better at gymnastics for CrossFit. So in this video, I'm gonna cover really important steps and things that you need to do to get better at CrossFit gymnastics as a whole. So it doesn't matter if you're trying to get better at handstand walks, handstand push-ups, kipping pull-ups, maybe you're trying to get your first strict ring muscle up, any sort of gymnastic movement inside the ecosystem of CrossFit, this video is really gonna help you get your ducks in a row to make sure that you are making progress and attacking those goals. If you stick around to the end of the video, I actually have some free training that I would like to give you that it's gonna help you systematically improve various aspects of your gymnastics. Tip number one is something that I'm actually borrowing from race cars. There's something called power to weight ratio. It's very important to maintain a good power to weight ratio, meaning the car, in this instance, is strong enough or powerful enough but also doesn't sacrifice being too heavy. You could have a really powerful car. Think of a monster truck or an 18-wheeler. There's a lot of horsepower there, but they're so bulky and heavy, they're actually not very fast. When it comes to driving race cars, we need to be very fast. So what does this have to do with CrossFit gymnastics? Well, for you as an athlete, and as anyone who's doing gymnastics as a whole, it's important to increase your power and decrease your weight, thus improving your power to weight ratio. If you're someone who's really strong, but doesn't have very much weight to carry around, guess what? You will naturally be exceptional at gymnastics. If you're someone who's really strong, but you have a lot of weight on your body, then naturally you won't be able to move as well, and you won't be able to do the movements as effectively or as efficiently, or really you're gonna burn out a lot quicker because you're moving so much weight. How do we apply this to our training? Well, a fact that not many people will talk about is it really does help if you lose excess body weight if you wanna get better at gymnastics. A lot of people come to me and they wanna get better at strict pull-ups. They think they need to increase their strength, which they do, but one of the easiest ways for them to hack their pull-up strength is to just lose extra weight. If I was wearing a 40-pound vest on my back, I would not be able to do nearly as many pull-ups or really any gymnastic movement. But as soon as I take off that vest, wow, things get a lot easier. I'm not saying that you need to go out and lose 50 pounds. However, if you are really trying to improve your gymnastics, perhaps dialing in your nutrition to make sure that you're not carrying excess body weight or more body weight than you need to, that will naturally make it easier for you to develop gymnastics movements and get better at gymnastic skills. If you're someone who's looking to dial in your nutrition, because that is the way you're gonna lose weight, you can't cardio your way or CrossFit your way out of a bad diet. You won't just lose weight naturally necessarily. What you need to do is make sure that you're adding caloric restriction into your life. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to be obsessive about it. But if you want to learn more about it, we have a few videos that I'll make sure that I link below about how to diet for CrossFit. And it's very simple. And the bottom line is that if you combine the next 4 points I'm going to make with also the fact that you're maybe getting a little bit leaner, that is going to make you much better and much quicker at accumulating gymnastic skills. Point number two is increase your strict strength. So obviously this is very similar to the power to weight ratio that I just talked about. An easy way to increase power to weight ratio is just increase your strength and stay the same weight, boom. Or stay the same strength and lose a little bit of weight, double boom. I really think it's important to reiterate how important it is to actually focus on strict strength. A lot of times when people are practicing kipping pull-ups or butterfly pull-ups or handstand walks and things like that, it's all dynamic skill-based movements. So they feel like they just need to dial in their kipping form. They need to dial in their handstand walk technique. They need to dial in the perfect butterfly scoop. But here's the thing. If you are lacking true strength, the ability to do strict pull-ups, the ability to do strict handstand push-ups, the ability to do all of these things in a strict form, then you're really capping the ability that you're going to be able to improve with the skills. So here's a classic example. Let's say someone comes to me and says, Ben, I want to learn butterfly chest to bar pull-ups. And they're working on their form. They're trying to dial in their technique. They've watched our YouTube videos. They've taken our butterfly pull-up breakthrough course. And then they tell me, oh, by the way, I can only do 3 strict pull-ups. You must make sure that you have the strict strength in order to eliminate that glass ceiling that's hovering over your skills. You can't technique your way out of not being strong enough to do the movement. So for this hypothetical athlete that can only do 3 strict pull-ups, it doesn't matter how perfect their technique is, the chances of them ever really getting good at butterfly chest to bar pull-ups is very small. However, if they took that number of 3 strict pull-ups and bumped it up to 10 or more, wow, they are going to be able to crush butterfly chest to bar pull-ups just because the strict strength oftentimes is a glass ceiling that I see over top of a lot of athletes that are trying to work on technique and form and efficiency when really if they just got a little bit stronger, they would do a lot better. Point number 3 is you must follow a progression consistently. Practice. Allen Iverson would not be proud of me right now.
I hear you. It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too. But we talking about practice, man.
But if you want to get better at your skills, doesn't matter what kind of gymnastics skill it is, you must follow a plan consistently. Oftentimes I see with athletes when they go to a gym, or maybe a couple of the gyms I've dropped into, people will show up, they'll ask me, hey, how do I get better at kipping pull-ups? And I kind of ask them, I'm like, hey, how often do you work on kipping pull-ups right now? And normally the answer is, oh, only when they're programmed. So I don't know about you, but typically a lot of these skills that we're trying to work on are only programmed once a week, maybe. And then if they are programmed, the chances of you showing up for that specific class and having enough time to work on that specific skill are pretty slim. What we tell our athletes, whether this is our games athletes all the way down to scaled athletes trying to level up to the RX division, it's all about consistency. Normally we suggest 2 to 3 sessions per week focused on one skill. Each session should be about 15 to 30 minutes long. As long as we're practicing consistently a couple times a week, usually we want to follow a very specific program. So a program that tells you the reps and sets and when to do things first and when to do things second, aka a progression from point A to point B. If you can follow a program that gives you the proper progression and you stay on top of it consistently, I promise you, your gymnastic skills will accumulate much, much quicker than just waiting for your gym to casually program that skill in the daily WOD. Normally, we don't have any chance before and after class to practice, so unless you, as an athlete, take control and say, I'm going to dedicate 2 to 3 sessions per week, 15 to 30 minutes per session, to focus on kipping pull-ups, or ring muscle-ups, or handstand walks, unless you have that focus, then it's going to be difficult for you to make progress. You might make progress, but it's going to be 100 steps, each one of them in a different direction, which gets you nowhere. We want to make focused action on one specific skill at a time, maybe 2 specific skills at a time. Let's say double unders and handstand push-ups. Those can work well together. Just 2 movements that aren't identical, and make progress on them by practicing consistently multiple times per week. Obviously, if you need help with something like that, that's why we put together something called WOD Prep Academy, which is all of our skill courses put together under one roof for a low annual fee. If you want access to that, it's literally the best deal we've ever offered. You can click the link below in the description or the top comment and go check that out for yourself. It's a great way for you to have access to all of the skill programs that we have. I believe it's at least 25 of them right now. You'll have access to all of those programs, and you can pick and choose which one you want to focus on. Each one of them comes with a progressive programming and videos to teach you how to go from not being able to do the skill all the way through eventually mastery of the skill. So that's point number 3, follow a progression consistently. We're talking about practice. If you do that, you will see massive, massive gains. Point number 4 is something that is equally as important as following the right drills and progressions consistently. It's have someone who can watch you, aka hire a trained eye. Doesn't matter if the trained eye is your coach at your gym. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a friend who's good at coaching gymnastics, or maybe you're on an island alone in a garage gym and you have no one to check out your form. Obviously, we can help. The bottom line is that you need to have someone that's able to watch your movement. Sometimes it's difficult to know whether or not we're moving properly. I know when I first started, I figured my kipping pull-ups were good enough, but if I watched them on video, I'd be like, something seems off, but I can't really figure out why. A trained eye, a trained coach or professional can look at your movement and say, oh, you're making the classic push-away fault, or oh, look, your arch position is inefficient. There's a lot of things that a trained eye will be able to identify very quickly, and someone like you who might not be as trained, who might not have as much experience, you'll have no idea that you're making mistakes. That's why inside of our courses, we have something called a fault fixer series, where we show a video of a fault, and then we teach you how to fix it. Another thing that we offer is WOD Prep Masters. WOD Prep Masters is a community where myself and the rest of my coaches literally analyze your videos and tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. So let's say you're learning kipping pull-ups. You can't figure out why you can't string more than 3 together. Well, you upload a video into WOD Prep Masters, and me or one of my coaches says, hey, this is your problem. Here's what you need to do to fix it. It's very simple. It's going to eliminate a lot of time and frustration if you find someone, whether it's someone on our team or if you're lucky enough to have great coaches at your gym, use them and say, coach, can you look at this for me? Coach, can you analyze this and tell me what I'm doing wrong? It really, really helps if you can capture things in slow motion on your video camera of choice, AKA, for me, it's my cell phone. I just shoot videos of myself in slow motion and then pass them on to coaches who are bigger and better than myself, and then they can analyze and make tweaks and adjustments to help me understand what I'm doing wrong and exactly what to do to fix it. So if you follow a program and you're lucky enough to actually get a trained eye to watch your movement, you will absolutely fast track your success in CrossFit gymnastics. The final piece of the puzzle, the last tip that I want to give you that's going to fast track your gymnastic abilities is the domino effect. When it comes to learning the skills that CrossFit requires, there's probably dozens, hundreds of them perhaps. Each skill is a domino that we need to knock over. Knocking over one creates a domino effect, and then all the dominoes start falling. When it comes to learning skills, it's really important to have a coach or for yourself to really reflect on what domino you should knock over next. Let's say you want to learn butterfly chest to bar pull-ups. Let's say strict pull-ups is a domino. Let's say kipping pull-ups is a domino. Kipping chest to bar pull-ups is a domino. And then butterfly pull-ups is a domino. And then butterfly chest to bar pull-ups is a different domino. You have to stack them up in order just like I did. The first thing you need to work on is not improving your butterfly efficiency. You're not ready for that. That's skipping over the dominoes. You have to knock down the first one. The first one would be getting adequate strict pull-up strength. Once we have at least 5, maybe 10 strict pull-ups, then we can move on to more advanced kipping movements like just kipping pull-ups or maybe kipping chest to bar pull-ups, start knocking down those dominoes. And then once we have 10 strict pull-ups, at least 15 kipping chest to bar, then it's going to be so much easier and you'll be so much more ready to knock over the domino of butterfly chest to bar pull-ups. So the domino effect is trying to understand, or you can use a coach. If you join WOD Prep Masters, you can ask our coaches what your next domino is. Use a coach or an expert to help you pick what the next most important skill is that you need to work on. And then once you identify that skill, apply the tip that we talked about earlier about consistent practice of your progressions.
Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice.
Sorry, AI, we still got to talk about practice. So, with all of that being said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, obviously give it a thumbs up. If you liked it, thumbs down. If you didn't, leave a comment below and let me know what you think the most important takeaway of this video was. What is one thing we were like, man, I really, really need to apply that? Leave a comment below and let me know what it is, and maybe I can make an additional video to expand on that one tip. And then the last thing, if you're someone that wants help along this journey, we can help you here at WOD Prep. WOD Prep Academy is where you can go to get access to all of our training courses for one low annual price. Or you can join, you can join WOD Prep Masters. That's where you can actually get coaching and upload videos and interact with WOD Prep coaches, along with getting daily programming and daily workouts and seminars and exclusive video content. It's a really amazing community that we have. So we have WOD Prep Academy, WOD Prep Masters, and then, of course, if you really want someone to work with you of one-on-one coaching here with the WOD Prep team, regardless, check out the links below if you want access to any of those. And like I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, we do have free content. I always am bringing the free goods to you. Go to wodprep.com. On that main page, you will see a bunch of links where you can download free training material. Whether it's wodprep.com/pullups to help you get free pull-up training, wodprep.com/double-unders to get free double-under training, pretty much wodprep.com/name the movement, and you're probably going to find some sort of free training download to help you get better at that movement. Here at WOD Prep, I care about making you better, whether it's through my paid programs or my free stuff or YouTube videos like this. I'm here to help. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.
Come back. Come back. Where are you going? What am I supposed to do? It's such a long way down. Coach, don't.